pans out in this encounter.
You do have anything to say about that game? Niger Tornadoes, Doma United?
Yeah, but first of all, looking at the fact that they are new into the league, they have to do a lot of adjustment and adaptation at the same time to the Nigerian football league. So, but if they, like I always say, want something, you can always do anything once you put your mind towards it. When players are focused on it, forget the fact that he scored the first goal. That keeps his confidence level high for the team. He can use that confidence to go on and score as many goals as possible for his team. But once they try and work towards that goal, I try and get towards it. They're playing against people that have been in the league already. But being them newly promoted, and if they know what they're doing, when they get their mind on it, they actually focus, they're intentional about winning, I believe they can get the win that they want.
All right, let's move away from the MPFL and let's talk about our own female. It's for the Nigerian Women's Football League. Yeah, it's a drama this time around because a lot of referees has been suspended. And it said the piece of information was contained and released on Monday by the Nigerian Referee Association. A lot of referees have been suspended, and one that really interests me, Daniel, is the one between Ocean Babes and Delta Queen. I was on the stadium that day. I watched that match that day. We were there live, and we saw all this hanky-panky things. And now the referee that ref that game is part of those that were suspended. Do you see a good one from what the referee committee talking about Faith Irabo is doing concerning women football in Nigeria?
Well, women football in Nigeria is on the rise, and it's gaining more international recognition, and people now are paying keen interest and paying keen attention to what is happening in women's football. So as such, everything has to be upheld to a standard, and once you are not able to maintain such a standard, because now people are now like putting interest, investors are coming in, things are happening. You are seeing players playing for bigger teams, all those things are happening on the sidelines. So the referee association, I'm very sure they must have looked at maybe clips of the matches, or would have sent people to all those games to observe and see what's going on. And then when they see any little error and they see all these politics being played on the field, it is enough for them to suspend all these referees. They are only just trying to create a level of standard where the refereeing committee would produce capable and referees that can actually represent the country in international competitions like the CAF Women's Championship and all those other big refereeing gigs. So what they are doing is only to just build a better refereeing something for Nigeria.
And that's a good one, at least for Nigerian referees.
Yes.
If we can do that, then we'll have a wonderful and a good league even in women and men football. Yeah, these are some of the games that we're seeing, and these are some of the referees that were suspended. One of it is the Oshunbe versus Delta Queens, Adamawa Queens versus Nasarawa Hamazin, and River Angels also versus Delta Queens. And that's a big one. Yeah, let me just quickly read through those that were suspended. Yes, the referees that were suspended: Zani Zubar named central referee, naming Joy Ogumboye from Ondo Referee Association, Beatrice Paul from Taraba Referee Association, and Olufunke Adeshola from the Oyo Association. The assistant referee suspended also Olusi Kid and Salomo and Ajiro Tutu Esther, all from Ondo State. Elizabeth Unisa Gombe and Wuba Bawuli Ruth from Plateau State. Rafiat Abdurrashid and Ade Lekan Adetutu from Oyo and Ondo State, respectively. And they say the suspension takes effect immediately. I think that's a very good one for our own league, and that will put all this referee in the right position, especially when the game starts. What do you think, Damlola?
That's a good one by the new admission of the Nigerian Football Federation, because whereby they expect discipline from the referees and even from the players as well. And I think them doing that has really imposed a kind of force of discipline that they want things to be done right. They don't want it to be done in mediocrity or whatsoever. So suspending those referees, they don't get to do their job well. Suspending them actually be the good thing. I think on this you spoke about it 2 weeks ago or about female referees not representing us in the African referees at the Women's World Cup. Yes.
And these are some of the things
exactly
they look at.
Yeah. So I think that actually has put a kind of trigger into the NFL. I think them going to and looking into the referees actually, and now they see that the referees are actually not capable enough. So then discipline those set of people now is actually a good thing because it kind of enforces a discipline whereby people get the referees now can step up their game and be of high level and of high standard for the Nigerian Football League.
I hope that will ring bells in our referees in Nigeria and also wherever they are, whether the female or the male counterpart. All right, let's quickly go to the African Nations Championship, the one that is ongoing in Algeria at the moment. Yes, the host of this year's African Nations Champions is called Chan. Algeria has qualified for the quarterfinals after beating Ethiopia 1-0 in their second Group A game yesterday. You all recall that their fellow North African, talking about Libya, they won against Libya again 1-0 for them to be the first team to qualify for the tournament at the weekend. All right, apart from Algeria, we have Mozambique 3 and Libya 2. This is the second game being played at the Group A fixtures. And I must say that in Group B, which is today, yes, DR Congo will be slugging it out with Ivory Coast, and Senegal will be slugging it out with Uganda. Well, Nigeria is not part of this show this time around. Even the Ghana that beats Nigeria are already out of the game. But who do you see that will probably be in the quarterfinals or probably be the champions of Chan, looking at the game so far?
Well, looking at them, the games so far and the games that are going to be played, right now it's a very sketchy one. You can't really say who is going to emerge as the winner because we've seen a lot of surprises. Ghana, that were like the front runners of the competition, have been ousted, and it's something that nobody really expected. And now we're seeing these underdog teams coming up to vie for a spot at the championship and everything, and it's just something to look forward to, and it just shows how much football has grown in Africa as a whole.
All right, let's just quickly move because of our time. Let's talk about this 7th edition of the National Youth Game being postponed. Yes, let me just give you the news. They said the 7th edition of the National Youth Games earlier scheduled to hold in Asaba, Delta State capital, from February 8 to 18, 2023, has suffered postponement. Alhaji Ismaila Abubakar, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Sports and Youth Development, stated that the postponement was due to logistic time constraint, and especially taking cognizance of the commencement of the general election that is slated for 25th of February 2023. And those are the main reason why the 7th Youth National Games has been postponed, and maybe after the election, then the games will go on as scheduled. The new timetable will be given, the new dates will definitely be given, and when that game will start, we'll definitely see the best of our youth when it comes to every aspect of sport. Delta, Asaba, they're always ready when it comes to all these games. They hosted the festival, and now they want to host the youth game. Yes, before I leave that, Asaba, Delta State has been using that to generate more funds into their state. Don't you think so?
That is a very good development from the Delta State government. They've been able to capitalize on this and been able to utilize it to the best of their abilities, and as well as generate revenue for their state. Sports is a very big deal, and yes, as such, many people are involved in it, and the Delta State government have been able to develop their sports you know, agencies develop stadiums and develop sports in the state to the extent where they are able to host these games, and they are able to bring in revenue for their state. So it's a very good one, and they hosted the first edition of this thing, and now they are hosting another one again. It's a very commendable one, and even in the state we see that the states are the other states are always like coming top in terms of competitions and games like that, and that's a very good one because it goes to show that the state government of Delta are actually putting in efforts to develop sports in the states.
Yeah, we hope other states will follow suit and look at this and develop sports in their states, so that all this kind of competition will come in. People will lodge into their hotels, people will eat their food, and this will bring more money into the state. I hope one of these days Osun State will host the festival and even the youth, and we'll see how it goes. All right, quickly, because of our time. Yes, well, let's quickly go to let's go to FA games before we look at Israel Adesanya in the UFC. Yes, the FA Cup games have been played yesterday. Forest Green Rovers had a 1-1 draw with Swansea City. Wigan Athletics tipped Wolf. They had a 1-1 draw as well, and Wolverhampton lost to West Bromwich Albion 4-0. Yes. Forest Green Rovers and Birmingham, they played a 1-2 game, while Swansea and Bristol, Swansea lost at home to Bristol 1-2. Wigan Athletic 2 lost to Luton Town 1-2, while Wolverhampton Wanderers lost to Liverpool by a lone goal. Yes, it was the turn of West Bromwich Albion when they won 4-0 against Chesterfield. And the Premiership game that will be played today, Crystal Palace will be playing against Manchester United. Manchester United are on fire at the moment.
Right now, it's Ten Hag, everybody is singing, and Rashford. Manchester United will be playing Crystal Palace later today, and right now, every Manchester United fan right now are happy. They have seen changes, they have seen developments, they've seen that team spirit that has been lacking in the team for a very long time, and it's it just goes to show what mentality can do to a team. Ten Hag came and he completely changed the mentality of all the players. He tried to make them understand that Manchester United is not a little club that cannot be pushed around by other teams. You need to be able to win games. You need to be able to play as a team and develop yourself individually as well. And as such, they've been able to show in their last matches, the games against Man City and other big clubs like that. And it's just a very good development. And we hope that today again they can slot the win against Crystal Palace. All
right, quickly, Coppa Italia, Napoli had a 2-2 draw with Cremonese, and at a penalty shootout, it was Cremonese that won that game 5-4. And quickly, talking about Adesanya, Israel, the former UFA middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has emerged as a promotion's most profitable fighter for 2022, selling a combined total of more than 1.5 million per pay-view, and that's a huge one, I must tell you. And quickly, before we go, we cannot but just talk about the Australian Open. Yes, Novak Djokovic looked so fantastic yesterday as he beat Roberto Caballero's beheader 6-3, 6-4, and 6-0 in 2 hours 2 minutes. Fantastic.
Djokovic is a world-class tennis player, an Hall of Famer, and he's that player that just brings class. And what he just did in the game yesterday was just so class. Dominated the game.
Won his own game as well. Our wish to go on and all the time is not our friend when it comes to sport, especially AM Sport on every Wednesday. Well, next time we'll definitely give you all the lowdowns of this sporting event that we have for you. All right, I want to say a big thank you, Daniel, for being part of the show today, and Damilola, a big one too for you being part of the show. All right, see you next week, Wednesday, when we'll give you another interesting in the world of sport. My name is David Ojo. Bye for now.